Adam, I
Yep.
don't know if you know this. Adam, we've gotten some complaints lately.
Have we?
Yeah, we've gotten some complaints.
In the inbox?
We've gotten some complaints that I'm not high energy enough.
Oh, shit.
Quote, Antonio is low energy. So I'm going to bring it today. All right. I'm going to bring it for this brand new episode of Mega Dads Live. We're closing out the year.
Yep.
The year is winding down.
Yep.
But we're not going to sleepwalk this one.
No.
We're going to double fist
it.
New Year.
I've been wanting to double fist you for a long time, so I'm glad we're finally getting to this.
Mega Dads Live is a mature-rated podcast. It's for the Mega Dads, the Mega Moms, but not the Mega Kids. So put on those earmuffs and let's go!
Have you seen any good movies lately? It's like movie time in the theaters.
Yeah, I have. Mm-hmm.
What'd you go see?
I was supposed to see Wicked. I got a made-for-TV movie that I'll just bring up now, and you could cut it into something else.
Made-for-TV?
There's a movie called Hot Frosty.
Oh, shit, you watched Hot Frosty.
Have you heard of this?
I've heard of it. I have not watched Hot Frosty.
So,
How bad / good is it?
It's starring one of the girls who is in Mean Girls. I think it was like the brunette friend.
Mm-hmm.
I forget her name. So she's going around her town, and she's like lonely, and this woman gives her a scarf, and she says, "Oh, it's magic." So then she puts it on a snowman, and the snowman turns into a man, like so flesh and blood man.
Oh, like a man,
chest naked. Yeah, he's naked, like chest naked for at least the first like 30 minutes of the movie. Before I shut this monstrosity of a movie down, he's wearing nothing but the scarf. You know, he has his chest out, he's ripped, like he's like super muscular, and he's like clueless. It's like, "Oh, it's my first day alive. Like, I want to stay with you." Like kind of like a kiddie like demeanor.
Yeah.
And it was so problematic, we had to turn it off. So my wife continued and watched a review of the full movie. And they were just talking about how problematic it is and how, you know, her and this like new simpleton like guy, you know, for newly brought to life, how they get together and have their happily ever after. And it's just Hot Frosty.
She bites carrot.
Yes. So she like gets him too hot. And he like melts. Like, I don't know, man. Like, let's just put this one in the put it away. It has an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes.
No, it does not.
Yeah, and it is absolutely terrible. But go ahead and give it a I'm gonna read this. This is from Odie Henderson of the Boston Globe. Quote, "This one plays like a porn movie if all the sex were removed and the ridiculous plot were fleshed out instead."
What's the point? Wait, it's like
a terrible
reversal?
movie.
That's
Hot Frosty. Runs an hour 32 minutes. Romance, comedy, fantasy, holiday movie. Check it out.
That's gross.
If you hate yourself to your core, check out Hot Frosty.
All right, I'm writing it down. I went and saw Moana 2.
Oh, is that out already? Moana 2 is out?
It just recently came out.
It released against Wicked and Gladiator and all that? I didn't know that.
We went to the theater, and when I tell you that this theater was more packed than I've ever seen it before, dude, like you go online and you pick your seats or whatever, every show for every movie is just like packed wall to wall.
Wow.
We were back and forth between going to see this or going to see Wicked. Wicked was way too overbooked. So unless we wanted to make the kids sit by themselves, we weren't going to see that. So we went and saw Moana 2. I love going to the movies, man. I talk about this all the time,
me too.
But going during the holidays and seeing all the family, especially when it's like family movies, right? Just seeing like all the kids out, and we watch this movie and you can hear all the kids laughing and giggling and talking to their parents. It's the only time that it's like acceptable to talk during a movie is like when you hear cute little kids giggling at the movie, and it just enhances the experience. But it's kind of like a mini caboose right now. Is just like go out and see a movie right now before Christmas time. And it's a different vibe. Let's talk about our super positives.
Mega Dad's being super positive.
We're going to talk about the things that are bringing us joy in our life. I have been hard at work on a project, and you have as well. We're going to talk about it again at the end of this episode just for a little bit, but my super positive is that work is complete on this project, and I can't wait to share it with everybody real soon because it's going to be fantastic. It's one of my favorite things to do here at Megadads every year. So I'm just kind of excited. The year is winding down. Some of our bigger projects are winding down, and we're looking forward to a whole new year of Megadads, and I'm just feeling really positive and excited about where we're going. What's your super positive?
So my daughter is in that stage where she doesn't know how to not be honest. So I was getting ready for the holidays, and like we're going out, and I'm putting on my nice shirt. I'm getting all dressed up. She's getting dressed up, my wife, right? And I, look in the mirror, and I'm like, oh, how do I look? She's like, your belly's really big. And I said, thank you, because I don't want her to think that, a big belly is a bad thing or whatever. Yeah. Even though I am trying to like not put on pounds, but
you got tears streaming down your face. You're like, thanks.
Yeah, I'm like, thanks. Yeah, so she's just like, but at the same token, if I do look sharp, she's like, Dad, you look so handsome. You look so beautiful. Like, so I kind of know. I'm like, you're not gonna lie to me. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna give me the whole truth and nothing but. So
was it like a sweater?
Very positive to have that. Yeah, I had like a sweater on over my baby bump, and it was like, it was oblong. It was very corpulent, very corpulent.
There's something about like a fuzzy belly, right? Like if you got a button up and you got a belly, there's something different than when you have a sweater hugging that shit and it's got fur on it. It kind of looks like you've got like a raccoon strapped to your front side. So yeah, I get it.
So that's my super positive is brutal honesty from the mouth of babes.
How
about you?
I hope she keeps that. So here's the thing is that I've switched up our show notes here, right? Because I was going to talk about a game this episode, but I'm too excited to hear you talk about this game that you were going to talk about in the next one. So I bumped it up. So I'm really excited because I got a text from you. Hold on, let me pull it up here. I want to read exactly what you said.
I'm so glad you're bringing up this text because this is exactly what I wanted to start with.
I think it was.
I was playing the game and I had to stop and give Adam my really short, like 1 sentence review in progress of my impressions from the first couple hours of the game.
Yeah, we're not gonna bury the lead here. This text says Stalker 2 is one of the worst games I've played in a long time.
Yeah, a lot of people talk about it, but no one's ever killed it or seen it for that matter.
So let's talk about Stalker 2.
Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl is a first-person shooter video game developed by GSC Game World, available on PC, Xbox Series S and S, and is included with Game Pass. So, Stalker 2 is developed by a studio that was heavily affected, based out of Ukraine from Russia invading and, it being over a year of the war there. And they were interrupted in their development, and it has to be said that obviously kind of affected what was going on here. Stalker 1 had come out, I think almost 10 years ago, something like that. It's been quite a while. So Stalker 2 is like the Stalker series is supposed to be like kind of gritty and hard survival mechanics in a kind of a war-torn area that also has some supernatural stuff going on in it called the Zone. So there's this like alternate reality where like the Soviet Union kind of like continued or some shit like that, and you're basically in a post-apocalyptic area that has a lot of weird anomalies, like there's lightning and fire and like invisible blobs that will kill you and like all sorts of like things like that are kind of odd. And then you have X-Files, and then you have like mutants, so you have like enemies that they look a lot like just like Dying Light's zombies. Honestly, they look kind of generic. There's like dogs and there's like different mutated animals. And then you have soldiers in the world that are out there. Stalkers are people who are out there collecting artifacts that have like weird powers. So you pick them up and they can give you radiation, which is a negative thing, but also like boost something.
Okay.
This is a system that's very odd. So they're like little trinkets, basically, you put in your inventory. It's definitely a survival thing where it's like you have carry weight that you have to worry about. You have weapons jamming. Combat is super brutal. There are soldiers and enemies all around that are you go into dialogue with, and 9 times out of 10 everyone backstabs you, and you talk to someone and they immediately want to kill you. You're not sure why. Or you talk to someone you think they're going to be a friend and they want to kill you, and then you're still kind of not sure why. And this is the game. So this is the type of
perfect
game.
for the holidays.
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, it is the worst game that I've played in a long time. And I know there's reasons why, but just objectively, the game is broken. So I played around 3-4 hours, and it felt like 15 hours. It was so grating to get through. There's a clip that I want to open up the B-roll footage with, where I walk into a barracks place and then I see 2 soldiers talking, and they're side by side and they're both leaning against the wall and they're kind of like talking at each other. And this one guy just starts urinating, and like there's no, penis or anything. It's just like urine coming out of his front. And it's just clearly urine, like clearly like a lot of liquid is just pouring out of this soldier. And they're just talking and he's peeing.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then it goes away. The liquid goes away. And it's just like, what did I just... And then a few minutes later, I'm walking up to this encampment and there's like 2 soldiers and they're standing side by side again, but it's the same character model. I'm talking about the face, clothes, everything, like identical. And they're moving in unison. So they're just like kind of like both like turn about face and like go walk away. And it's like some glitch where there's just like 2 characters in the same like area doing the same thing. The NPCs look like wax figures. Looks like it was made like 15 years ago by somebody who's like getting a college credit for doing this for an assignment. Like, it is so poor. The world is supposed to be post-apocalyptic, but when you look at, like, it's debris, broken buildings, things scattered around, the interiors of the buildings, you'll see like a desk, and it is the most generic looking desk with the most generic looking monitor with the most, or the most generic looking shit like everywhere. You can't pick it up. The loot's like terrible. The shooting mechanics are terrible. Like, it's brutally hard for no reason. I'm dying from like, I was debating how to do the B-roll for this, because in my first opening hour, you start and the game doesn't tell you how to turn your headlamp on. And the game is notoriously dark. So it has like HDR going on. It has like very few brightness and gamma settings. And everyone that I'm researching online is having this problem in the beginning of the game, where you're stuck walking down an incredibly long tunnel that's pitch black, and you have to like turn and climb a little bit to get out. And people were stuck in the tunnel just like me. So I have all this gameplay.
This is the opening of the game?
The opening of the game. I'm talking about first 15 minutes. I'm spending 15 minutes lost in darkness. I'm trying to shoot my weapon to get a little muzzle flash. Can't find my way out. Finally stumble out accidentally. And then later on, I go and research, and people are like, what the F is wrong with the lighting in this game? You get out and you start like exploring, and I just die. I'm like, what killed me? Turns out there's a lot of invisible enemies. There's a lot of enemies you don't know are enemies. There's a lot of like, and everything kills you like
invisible.
So fast. Yeah,
like,
they just
intentionally,
like they have like a power where this most brutally armored enemy just like is completely like Predator, like where it's like a facade almost, where you could see a little bit, and they just come out, swipe at you, and immediately go invisible again, and then they come out again, and you're just like, if you kill enemies, they're like the mutants, there's no reward. So you don't pick up bullets, you don't pick up anything from them. So what people were saying is like it's best to just avoid combat unless you're killing other soldiers because they will have weapons. And it's just like it's just so bad. Like if you compare it to something like a Fallout, you compare it to something like just any other modern game, it's like it's I guess intentionally supposed to be like brutal. Like there's this game called Tarkov where you have to load each individual bullet and maintain your weapons and maintain all your stamina, bandage up if you're injured, or else you're gonna limp and your aim will be off. So that's like more advanced. That's like the brutal. Some people love that. It feels like this is brutal and all that, but with no care put into like balancing it at all, or nothing to make it seem like entertaining.
No reward for the suffering that you're going through.
It says start the game on normal difficulty, the Stalker difficulty, because I was going to start on easy, and it's like, no, play the game as intended. I had to turn it off, go down to easy mode, and then I was having a better time. The story and the writing, Adam, is so bad. Like people will talk at each other. It'll be one character talking to another. And the tone, the words they are saying, the fact that they're bringing up all these names of like Sergeant whatever's missing. Oh, we got to go find Squishy or whatever. Like all this stuff, it felt like the script in every scene was written by 15 people that made suggestions and wrote a little bit. And then the next passed it to the next person and they wrote a little bit. And that's how it kind of seems like. I'm like, am I crazy? Am I like not following this for like, and everybody like it was just the tone is all over the place. Like it's just wild. All I know is that they're trying to say that everyone is gonna backstab you. That's all they're talking about constantly. And you're supposed to know that this guy sent you over here. Oh, but he was lying to you because you weren't going here for like something. You were walking into a trap. It's just so bad that I never want to pick up this game again. And this should be my jam, like kind of a Fallout, like survival.
That's what I was thinking. Like this sounds
what the hell?
Yeah.
This is dog shit. Dog shit.
Is there a point to the game? Like, is there a through line, or is it just like go into the world?
So
because like that's odd? My problem with like Fallout was like I never really knew. Like I knew there's the setup or whatever, and then it's going to the world, and I never really understood what I was supposed to do.
If the game wants you to understand what the Stalker mythos is and wants you to understand what the zone is, like, oh, there's a lot of valuable stuff in there. Like all this spooky stuff is happening, and we go in and find the artifacts, and we're going to use them to like better humanity. So we're like using this supernatural occurrence and these things to like for our tech or whatever. So the game wants you to go in, you start out on the outskirts, and something happens where this guy like helps you hop the fence into the zone, and then you're like searching for an anomaly, and you put the anomaly into a machine that's supposed to charge, I don't know, some shit. And it doesn't matter because when you get into the zone, then you get betrayed, and then you start the actual game. And I guarantee you that this part of the game was made first, and then they went back and tried to like make the beginning part and like figure out why you were there. So you could totally, because it starts very much more polished. Like you wake up from being betrayed, and it's like, hey, you, like, and then he starts telling you like more basic information, like here's where you are, here's what you're doing, and then boom, you just go and meet all these people, all these soldiers, and they're just talking random nonsense to you, and I have no idea why I'm doing what I'm doing. You know, it's so hard to follow. I would not recommend this game to anyone. And there are people out there who enjoy like the brutal difficulty games. I just think it's unpolished and buggy and not fun. It's so brutal. It's so brutal.
This thing got delayed like a lot, right? Like this has been,
I mean, war, you know.
Right, but like just keep delaying it until it's ready, right? Like is this what ready looks like? Did you play the first one?
No, I did not play the first one. I was excited for this. Xbox has been cooking games, as we all know, for years. And it's like, what are the games we're going to back that are going to make an impact on our player base, that are going to say, this is our lineup. So you got Microsoft Flight Simulator, which I was going to talk about, was crashed and a server overloaded on game day. Couldn't play it. When I did go in to play it, it was not rendering correctly, so it looked blocky as hell. So that was a wash. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, unplayable at the time that I wanted to. Stalker 2, complete disaster in my opinion. And then we have Indiana Jones coming, and it's like, I think I've been saying that that's gonna bomb for a long time. I am so upset. Like, there's legitimate reasons for this game to be broken,
Right.
but it is a dumpster fire on Xbox right now. Dumpster fire. Like, if this game should have at least been decent. Like, I could, like, let's say you take out all the bugs. The writing is inexcusable. The story is just, it looks bad. So I want to get this footage where you look out from a tower and you look out onto what's, trees, debris, post-apocalyptic area. That's what you're trying to look at. It looks like I made it. And I don't know how to make games. The draw distance is like terrible. Like, in games nowadays, you look out, you could see the mountain, you can see whatever. There's like some type of like darkness or haze, or like, I don't even know how they did it, but like you can't see after a certain period, a certain draw distance. And I'm like, and everything else just looks like total ass. Like, I'm so upset. I understand, I mean, this game's development was wrecked, but Xbox is just not delivering jack shit right now over the last, like, I don't even know how long.
Seems to
I'm
be
so pissed at him. I'm so pissed.
I think it's time. I think it's time, Antonio. It's
fuck.
Come on.
Damn. We've been talking about me going over to the PlayStation ecosystem.
Come to Papa.
I don't see how. I'm just in denial at this point. Like I said, if it wasn't for Game Pass, but you say if it wasn't for Game Pass that allows me to play more games with less money and more convenience, that I would switch over. But if Game Pass isn't giving you quality, day one, or AA, AAA titles, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing here? I've never been this upset about the state of play for Xbox. This is it.
I'm gonna do this for you, and then I'm just gonna
Hot take.
let loose, man. Just let it out. Just let it out.
I've been a loyal Xbox fan for a very long time, and I've given them chance after chance to try to deliver a lineup that was going to compete with PlayStation and just experiences. Like, you have a game that's supposed to be like, oh, it would be nice if this was an action adventure, like an Uncharted level or Last of Us. It never comes. You want to do a technical prowess showcase in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 that is supposed to show off the power of your console, the power of your technology. Launch is broken, looks like shit. Like, they're doing something with the cloud and caching on the server-based side. It just, if your experiment does not work, you're supposed to be making good impressions. You have this Indiana Jones game that's coming that's just gonna be utter dog shit. I already know. If I'm wrong about that, oh my god. But I am, if I don't go PlayStation next time I'm able to buy a console, I'm in denial. I'm just in denial. There's no other excuse for it. Game Pass, the value is gone down over time, not up. And I am pissed.
Well, that sound is the caboose. And that means it's the end of the show, where we give you a recommendation of something outside of the world of video games that we think you should enjoy. My caboose is very selfish and personal. I'm very excited because the Megadad's holiday special is going to premiere this upcoming Monday, December 23rd at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. It is going to be a live watch-along event. It is what I look forward to the most all year round. We have so much fun doing different holiday gags, visits from Santa. Paul the Pizza will be there. We're going to be making cookies. We're going to be giving holiday game recommendations. It's going to be a great time. We want you there right here at youtube.com/megadads, December 23rd, 8 p.m. set your calendars and let's get our jollies on. Antonio, what's up your caboose?
So my caboose is that I had a recommendation that you write a letter to Santa. So there is a special thing where if you write a letter to Santa and you put it in the mailbox, the post office will come and pick it up. They'll deliver it to Santa at the North Pole, and then Santa will write you something back. So we had our daughter write letters to Santa, and she'll do all this cute stuff. I love you, blah, 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 like draw a picture, put it in there. And then it takes about a day for it to go and come. And then Santa will write something back and will say like, hey, little boy, little girl, I got your letter, whatever. So he's very good at writing back. So I would say write a letter to Santa, butter him up before he gets into that workshop, getting all this stuff ready for Christmas. Cause maybe you'll get a present boost, maybe a little upgrade or something like that. So letters to Santa, always very fun. I highly recommend it.
I'm so excited. The holidays are coming up. We won't see you guys until after Christmas. So thank you so much for listening to this episode of Mega Dads Live. Enjoy your Christmas. We'll see you next week for another episode. And don't forget to tune in to the holiday special. Bye, everybody. Get ready to stuff your stockings. It's the Mega Dads Holiday Special. Featuring our video game themed cookie bake-off, decorating our Amiibo village, holiday gift guide for kids, musical performances, special appearances by Santa, and more. So please kick off your holiday celebration with the Mega Dads. The Mega Dads Holiday Special airs live December 23rd at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on youtube.com/Megadads.